Imagine this. You're facing the most powerful empire on Earth. They've got 200,000 soldiers. You've just 40,000 blokes starving in the desert. The odds are 5 to 1 against you, and any sane commander would surrender, innit? But this man looked at those odds and said, "Brilliant, let's have it then." His name was Khalid ibn al-Walid, and in 6 days, he orchestrated the most shocking military upset in human history at the Battle of Yarmouk, a battle so savage, so perfectly executed that historians still can't believe it actually happened. Let's set the stage, yeah? It's August 636 AD. The Byzantine Empire, successors to Rome itself, controls everything from Greece to Egypt. Absolutely massive. Their emperor, Heraclius, just beat the Persians after a 26-year war. The man's a legend. His armies are professional, disciplined, equipped with the finest armor money can buy. Meanwhile, down in Arabia, something extraordinary is happening. Islam has united the fractured Arab tribes for the first time in history. They've already taken Iraq, Syria, Palestine, and Heraclius is absolutely fuming because these desert warriors have nicked his prized territories. So he makes a decision that'll change everything. Right, enough is enough. I'm sending every single soldier I've got. We're crushing these Arabs once and for all. He assembles the largest Christian army ever gathered, over 200,000 men, Armenians, Greeks, Syrians, Mesopotamians, elite cataphracts in full plate armor, archers by the thousands. This isn't just an army, mate, it's a statement. Total annihilation. On the other side, the Muslim forces are scattered across Syria, outnumbered, outgunned, running low on supplies. Many commanders are panicking, sending urgent messages saying, "We need to retreat, we can't win this." But there's one man who sees it differently. One man who's never, and I mean never, lost the battle in his entire life. Khalid ibn al-Walid, the Sword of Allah. Now, who is this bloke? Because his story is absolutely mental. Khalid wasn't always on the Muslim side. Oh no, initially he was their worst enemy. At the Battle of Uhud in 625 AD, Khalid was fighting for the Meccans against the Muslims, and he nearly killed Prophet Muhammad himself. His cavalry charge was so devastating, the Muslims had to retreat. The man was a tactical genius even then, but something changed. 2 years later, Khalid converts to Islam, and when I say the Muslims gained a weapon, I'm not exaggerating. This man goes on an absolute tear, fights in over 100 battles, cavalry charges, desert warfare, sieges, ambushes, every single type of combat you can imagine. And get this, he never loses. Not once, not even a draw. 100 battles, 100 victories. Before Yarmouk, he'd already conquered half of the Byzantine Empire's territories, taken Damascus, Homs, Palmyra. The Byzantines called him the devil. Mothers used his name to scare children into behaving. Be good or Khalid'll get ya. He was that terrifying. But Yarmouk was going to be different. This wasn't a raid or a skirmish. This was the final showdown. Everything on the line. Win and the Byzantine Empire crumbles. Lose and Islam might be wiped from Syria forever. Right, so it's late July 636 AD. Khalid receives intelligence that the massive Byzantine army is marching toward the Yarmouk River Valley, near modern-day Jordan-Syria border. He gathers all Muslim forces, about 40,000 men total. The commanders are terrified. The numbers don't lie. This is suicide. But Khalid is eerily calm. He studied the terrain. The Yarmouk River Valley is surrounded by deep ravines, the Wadi al-Rakad and Wadi al-Alan, steep gorges with deadly drops. One wrong step and you tumble into your death. Most generals would avoid this area, too dangerous, but Khalid sees something else entirely. He tells his commanders, "We're going to position ourselves with our backs to the ravines." Everyone thinks he's lost the plot. That's madness. If we retreat, we'll fall to our deaths. Khalid smiles. Exactly. We won't retreat because we can't retreat. It's victory or death. No middle ground. Psychological warfare, innit? He's just eliminated the option of running away. His soldiers have to fight like cornered lions because there's literally nowhere to run. But that's just the beginning of his genius. Khalid divides his army into mobile cavalry units, his specialty, positions infantry in the center, but his cavalry wings are flexible, fast, lethal. He's creating what modern military analysts call defensive offense. Hold the center, strike from the sides. Classic hammer and anvil. But here's where it gets even brilliant. Khalid knows his men might waver when they see 200,000 Byzantines charging at them, so he does something unprecedented. He positions the Muslim women behind the army with swords and stones. Their orders, if any man tries to flee, kill him. I'm not joking. The women, led by his own wife Hakim and other warrior women, form a literal wall. You either push forward or die trying. One woman, Kala bint al-Azwar, was a proper legend. She'd fought in multiple battles, killing Byzantine soldiers with her own hands. These weren't just cheerleaders, mate. They were the insurance policy. No retreat, only victory. August 15th, 636, the Byzantine army arrives. Their commander, Vahan, looks at Khalid's position and laughs. They've trapped themselves. This'll be a massacre. He's commanding 200,000 men, 5 times Khalid's force. He's got heavy cavalry, archers, infantry divisions from across the empire. On paper, there's no contest. The first 3 days are absolute carnage. The Byzantines attack in waves, trying to overwhelm the Muslim center. Imagine the noise. Thousands of men screaming, steel clashing against steel, horses shrieking, wounded crying out. It's hell on earth. Khalid's infantry are holding, but barely. The Byzantine cataphracts, heavily armoured cavalry, are smashing into Muslim lines like battering rams. These aren't ordinary soldiers, mate. They're professionals who've trained their entire lives. Each charge pushes the Muslims back further towards the ravines. By day 3, Khalid's men are exhausted. They've been fighting sunrise to sunset with minimal food and water. The August heat is unbearable. Temperatures over 40 degrees Celsius. Men are collapsing from heat exhaustion. Some are begging to retreat. But Khalid rides through the ranks, shouting, "Where will you run? Behind us is death, ahead is paradise or victory. Choose." His presence alone is electrifying. This man has never lost. If anyone can pull off a miracle, it's him. That night, the Muslims pray like they've never prayed before. They know tomorrow might be their last day on earth. Khalid gathers his cavalry commanders. He's got a plan, a mad, brilliant, absolutely bonkers plan. He's noticed something. The Byzantine army, despite its size, is spread thin. Their left wing is overextended, trying to flank the Muslims. There's a gap, small but exploitable, between their cavalry and infantry. If Khalid can punch through with his mobile cavalry, he can wheel around and attack from behind. It's a classic Cannae maneuver, the same tactic Hannibal used to destroy the Romans 800 years earlier. Risky as hell. If it fails, his cavalry will be surrounded and slaughtered. But if it works, game over. August 19th, day 4. The Byzantines are confident. They've been pushing the Muslims back steadily. Vahan orders another massive assault. This is it, the final push. The Byzantine center charges, 20,000 men in tight formation. The ground shakes. The Muslims brace for impact. The collision is horrific. Men are crushed, trampled, stabbed. Blood turns the ground into mud. For hours they fight at close quarters, stabbing, punching, biting. Survival at its most primal. Khalid knows this is the moment. If the Byzantine center breaks through, it's over. He gathers every single cavalryman left, maybe 3,000 riders. His horse is wounded, his sword is chipped, he's bleeding from multiple wounds, but his eyes are blazing. One more charge, brothers, one more and we win everything. They charge straight into the Byzantine center. Not from the side this time, straight into the teeth of the enemy. It's suicide or brilliant, maybe both. Khalid himself is in the front, cutting down Byzantine soldiers like wheat. He's everywhere at once, saving a surrounded unit here, rallying breaking troops there. The man is superhuman. Witnesses later describe him as covered head to toe in blood, not all of his own. The Byzantine center begins to waver. They're exhausted, terrified, demoralized. Men start stepping back. 1 becomes 10, 10 becomes 100. Suddenly someone shouts, "Retreat! Fall back to the river!" And it's over. The retreat becomes a rout. Byzantine soldiers are running, not in formation, just blind panic. They're stampeding toward the bridges across the Yarmouk River. But there's a problem. Those ravines Khalid positioned his army near, the Byzantines are now trapped between the Muslims and the gorges. Thousands of Byzantine soldiers in their panic run straight into the ravines in full armor. They fall hundreds of feet to their deaths.
Others try to cross the river but drown, the weight of their armor pulling them under. The Yarmouk River literally runs red with blood. The Muslim cavalry pursues relentlessly, cutting down fleeing soldiers. It's not pretty, it's not heroic, it's just brutal reality. By sunset, the Byzantine army is destroyed. Of 200,000 men, maybe 50,000 survive. The rest, dead, captured or drowned. Khalid ibn al-Walid stands among the carnage. His armor is destroyed, his sword is bent, he's got wounds across his body, but he's standing, and he's won, against odds that should have been impossible. The Battle of Yarmouk didn't just end a war, it ended an empire. The Byzantines never recovered. Within years, Syria, Palestine, Egypt and North Africa all fell to Muslim forces. Constantinople itself would survive for another 800 years, but the empire